what I've seen is about 9:30. Well, a number of places have longer delay, but mostly it's like carnival around Surulere. Yeah, the voters are. Well, you see, usually in the morning we say, "Oh, the voter turnout is big. People are out." But sometimes you then see that at the end of the day, a place where you expect 500 plus is just about 150 or 200 that end up voting. But for now, yes, the turnout looks good. I've noticed more of middle-aged and elderly, and I've seen quite a number of youth football tournaments going on.
Yes, I saw that.
On election
I
day.
saw that. Yes.
And then, of course, there are some challenges here and there with INEC. I think in most places that I've been, the people have cooperated. They have been patient with INEC to solve out their problem. There was a particular place that they had to stop voting because the ballot paper was not stamped. The INEC officials on ground didn't have stamp. A number of persons had voted, so there was a debate on, so what are we going to do? Can we open the box and bring out? No, you can't tamper with the box.
Exactly.
Okay. We don't want those votes to be voided.
Invalid, yeah.
Okay, so what do? They then agreed amongst themselves, the amount of people there, that when it gets to counting, those 5 votes will be allowed to be stamped. Well, that's a conversation they had amongst themselves as citizens. Here close to just at the gates of Eco Atlantic. I think that's 054, unit 054. The voting was just starting now at 12 noon. The reason being that there was no stamped ballot papers. Actually it was even the roving police team that called my attention to it. But by the time I got there, the problem was about over, and before I left, they had started to cast their vote. Well, the turnout there looks scanty, but I expect that perhaps people have come earlier and waited endlessly, hoping that they will be encouraged to still come back and exercise their franchise. And then, of course, the streets are quite empty, especially moving from the mainland up to the island. So aside from those, I think that the exercise is taking off gradually and well enough, hoping that each polling unit will use their discretion to know that if you are starting at 12 noon, you might need to extend, except people don't turn up anymore, you might need to extend, because in some places they are just going to say, oh, the law says once it's 2:30, the last person on the queue should vote. It doesn't matter even if they are 500.
No, they have to vote last. And it looks like we're going to be going into the middle of the night, given the amount of stations that are starting late. Well, you know what happens with that? What you then have is you have results conflicting with voting, and results will start to come out, right? So as results of some polling units come out, others will still be voting, and then you get this issue, and it can actually shape because people are listening to radios.
That's true. It's unfortunate that we are going to have, for as long as we continue with the kind of system we have, with the kind of overly centralized election process that we are going to have this challenge of logistics, of deployment. There's a place where one of
let's talk logistics. It's about to go on break. Let's talk logistics when we come back from this break.
These 2023 general elections, the party will go pay me plenty money. Now I go vote for. Even if them share foodstuffs join, I go let's go cook for my family.
After all, votes no kukuma the count. Now who them want to? Now I'm go enter power.
Vote buying and selling. Now electoral offense with.
The only thing that we have as a challenge, but we are not the only country affected with the economic crisis. It's spreading all over the world, and we just have to recalibrate the system and set Nigeria on the path of recovery.
So what message do you have for Nigerians, sir?
I'm not gonna let anything weigh me down, cause I'm on the
Lagos, from Lekki to Oshodi, from anywhere to everywhere. Try Anaya and you won't go back to your old ways of moving around Lagos.
I've just casted my vote here, Lagos Island, Electoral ward, and it's been very peaceful. We came in here, we sat down, and after a couple of minutes, we were called on for accreditation, and the accreditation I think went very well. My wife and I, and we were given the ballot papers to go into a cubicle, cast our votes without without any form of hindrance, without any form of intimidation or anything, and casted the vote, and I've also been inked, haven't casted a vote. So I want to confirm that it is live and well here. I think there's a fairly good turnout here, and I want to imagine driving from the State House all here. It's been very peaceful.
Today in Surulere, the police people didn't deploy with the sensitive materials. All the security. Well, so they are first
right? Where people are reporting, please ask the security to come here.
That's true.
So if you said, why not share the fireman over there and one EFCC?
Only that one fireman was at that polling unit. So I've been to a number of places and there are no police people present. But what I then realized later is that they were deploying late. Matter of fact, the fireman said he had to go and fetch his vehicle to bring himself down on time. And then I saw a police vehicle deploying police to various. So there's no alignment between their own deployment and the INEC deployment. Hopefully that won't amount to some big problem for us. Right now, we don't have any issues yet. Let's hope that it stays that way, actually. So logistics has always been a problem. This year is not going to be different, but to what extent is what we need to see. On the average, I've been to about 12 polling units, and the average starting time, like I said, has been about 9:30. Though there are some exceptions, like I said, a couple of places starting at 10 at noon, but otherwise. So if the average starting time is 9:30, we might still be good at 3:30, not 2:30. We might still be good. I mean, they will stop the line at 2:30, but people might vote up to 2:30. 3:33. 4. But that's just a little. That's just gonna be for us. I mean, the amount of messages that I have had. So many people complaining that they're just turning up, they're only just turning up, they just voting, they're lining up. I mean, like I said, I have a video from my friend, and there were over 1,000 people, and they hadn't even started. Yeah, so that's where there'll be issues, because now that's not the only problem those people should anticipate. They should anticipate that if the beavers
doesn't work.
So 2 problems I've noticed with the beavers. In some places, the beavers has an issue on its own, and then in some other places it's the operator. And then I got to a polling unit in Surulere where when they put on the beavers, the battery was reading low, so the electoral officer had to bring his own power bank from somewhere to power it, and then there was no network. He had to link it also to his personal network. We have a couple of these, if there are not too many, but if that becomes rampant, then INEC really needs to wake up. And this is, by now, I'm sure the INEC situation room should be doing midday review of the exercise, and they need to start to, deploy rescue missions, so to speak. They need to start to deploy those who will go and solve problems in major places, because if there's any place that they have not started by 12, it's a recipe for crisis.
Absolutely.
Because many people will be disenfranchised. I hope INEC will be up to task in this?
Now, some of the reports we've been getting is that there are no logos, parties on certain ballot papers. Now, I know that, of course, not all parties have representation, but irrespective, all the ballot papers are supposed to have all parties, literally. So if I'm contesting for senatorial district, you're contesting, but the Orange Party, which is Zainab, is not contesting. It doesn't matter. They're a party that's part of this. Should they not all be on the list? So when you get there, you know you can vote for me, even because there won't be anybody to represent the Orange Party.
So, well, that's a bit problematic because it's going to cause a lot of confusion.
Well, the confusion is not having the people there. So the logos there.
Actually, the person who, and I'm glad that somebody else sent a message to correct that impression. So what INEC has done is, if you are not fielding a candidate for any particular role, constituency, they are not going to appear on the ballot. So in some places you will find maybe just 2 or 3 on the ballot for.
But I think that is the confusion.
But for the presidency.
Yeah, not even for the president. What I'm saying is, Sulaiman, look, I grew up in the UK. Everybody, all the parties are listed, right? I know I want Sulaiman's party, I want Zainab's party, Sharif's party might be listed. That's not who I'm voting for. I don't care whether Sharif has a candidate or not. The fact of the matter is, the confusion is the trust issue. When I get there and I'm expecting to see all the list and I only see it on presidency, on the presidential, I don't see it on the National Assembly. I don't see it on the senatorial. I start to think my party is being marginalized. I may not know. It doesn't matter. Have all the parties there. There are 18 parties. For
and there are not too many this
They're talking about cost. If you're printing for senator for president and you're printing all 18, what's the cost? I mean, what could be the change, the difference?
So if I were INEC chairman, what you have proposed makes my life a lot easier, because there are so many constituencies that sometimes it gets mixed up, but still they have said this is what they are doing. They have operated within the law, may not be sensible, may not be the best that they could do.
Does the law say that? Does the law say?
So INEC has its guidelines. So the question will be, let's say your constituency, your senatorial district, party Z is not fielding a candidate, and they do not appear on the ballot paper. Nobody can, as a result of that, then sue INEC to say I've been disenfranchised. So INEC is having a roller coaster on that. Okay, nobody is going to sue me that I've been disenfranchised. But where they're going to run into trouble is if for a particular constituency they are supposed to put party D, and they didn't put party D there, they put it in somewhere else, it could render the election of that seat for that area invalid. Once the disenfranchised person goes to court that I wasn't on the ballot, it becomes a big problem for INEC.
But I would put it to you, I'm going to ask you, right? Shouldn't INEC their priority should be voter trust?
Yeah.
Civic responsibility, which is something I'm really going to be covering and pushing a lot after this election. Okay, what we need to push is civic responsibility, civic right, civic participation. My civic right, my civic responsibility is actually aided by trust, right? If I trust that everything is going to be above board, then I'm going to take part. If I don't trust that everything is above board, I'm not going to take part. So, presume me to be ignorant, right? I want to vote for the XYZ party. I get there and I'm like, okay, XYZ presidential, click. And I don't even know whether XYZ has senatorial or they don't. I don't know if they have House of Rep or they don't. But I get there and I'm like, XYZ is going to get all my votes. Why? Because I want XYZ to be represented. I want them to represent me in my local government. I want them to represent me here. So I get there and I can't see I can only see XYZ, if I speak American, on the presidential. My trust meter goes down. My trust in that election at that polling unit with the results diminishes.
Yeah.
So when they say it's about cost, I say to them, do you care about money or do you care about citizens' trust in the process? Because I miss ignorance who wants to, and ignorance is not necessarily a bad thing. We keep thinking that ignorance, no, just because I don't know, ignorance is not knowing. It doesn't make me stupid. So Miss Ignorant here wants to vote for XYZ and goes there and only sees it in one paper and doesn't see it in the other paper. I feel, well, like that man that called in. I'm not happy. I went to mom and I'm not happy. I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah. So I think what INEC loses, what the country loses by what you've explained, is that we lose the opportunity to garner information, garner data about, what voters, how they think and all of that. But then they will have a point in saying, so we have 18 presidential candidates, 18 parties fielding president, but I'm not sure if it's 18 that we have for House of Reps, for instance.
No, we probably don't. We definitely don't.
So we probably have many more parties participating.
Oh, other parties, yeah.
There was a time that we were almost going to have about 70 people wanting to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
And we advised INEC that, look, if everybody wants to be on the ballot, then you must have people go and get, if you want to represent your federal constituency, for instance, go and get 2,000 votes of your constituent who say you should be on the ballot, because it's a waste of time to put everybody on the ballot. It's going to be a nightmare. Those ballot
Whose nightmare is it, though?
For all of us.
Why?
Those ballot boxes can only contain as many. If we have, for instance, the House of Representatives and you have 3 sheets of paper, then it's going to contain a third less of what.
Then get a bigger box. Then get a big. My thing is, democracy is about the people. INEC only exists because we have a democracy. The democracy only exists because the people participate in a democracy. I don't care if your box has to be the size of Aston Rock, and you have to literally, like, you have to ship it about, right? You give the president your budget, right? Your budget is approved, right? Go ahead and do it. I think we keep saying, if we're truly going to push for an election that is about the people, that is people driven, that is about participation and representation, we absolutely must stop worrying about cost, because where we should be worrying about cost, we don't.
Well, we have to.
Am I being idealistic?
I think a bit of.
Go ahead.
So
I represent my downfall people.
Maybe what I would love to see is a situation where we don't have one INEC conducting all of the elections.
Aha, nice.
That would sound crazy to most Nigerians, knowing what happens at the state so-called independent electoral commissions.
The risks.
But what we need to have is a situation where, whether it's going to be federal constituencies or local government, be in charge. And then our system is developed such that everybody has a number and a thumb to themselves. So if I'm registered as a constituent in Ikeja, even if I'm living in Kaduna at the time, I can vote and my vote will count in Ikeja. I can vote ahead. I mean, there are so many things that can remove this. There's a logistic nightmare for INEC. They are not coping with the present situation. So to make their life more complicated, we will not get the best of them. But I think what we should be pushing.
I don't know why we should care whether their life is complicated or not. We only need them every 4 years or every 2 years.
It tells on the credibility of the outcomes.
Yeah, but they need to care about the credibility, because if there's a KPI, right? My boss, Sheriff Alaji, is probably listening to me now. My KPI, right, is dependent on how I perform right now, how the conversation that I have with you, the information that I pull out of you, how much the listeners are getting to learn from you. And what I get the information to get the job done, right? So why do I care whether their life is complicated? If your life is complicated, unravel it, get on with the job. You get paid, don't they?
So our
lines are going crazy. I think these are debates. Hold on. We're having a great debate, people. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Yes, is this Nigerian Info?
Yes, it is, and you're speaking to Cecil Gay.
Yes. I'm calling directly from Olodia Papa.
Okay.
By Tinkan. There's a polling booth directly opposite my house, my family house. And I noticed that one of the electoral officer was telling the person to who she would vote for. And I saw that compromising. That was why I called.
You saw one of the electoral officers.
One of the electoral officers telling a particular voter to vote for a particular party.
Right.
I would have caught it on camera, but I wasn't on my phone then.
Yes. Oh, wow. That is terrible.
Just now.
Yeah.
And I think this particular, and there was a police officer with him. In fact, I knew him that they're even talking together. And I think this particular polling booth was created for that purpose, to favor a particular party.
Wow.
Yeah. Just by think, and I can't really know the polling unit.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, the INEC officials came around 12 p.m. this afternoon. They didn't come in time. We all have been, waiting since morning for them to come, but they came at exactly 12 p.m. And now all of us are under the sun, trying to cast our votes. That's the situation at Magbo right now.
Wow.
Community high school.
How many people roughly do you think are there?
We are up to more than 1,000 here, and people refuse to go home. We are just waiting for them since morning. Everybody wants to cast his vote, but nobody went to. We are all waiting for them. But when they finally show up, people now, rush to them. We call our friends, our family who are at home. So they join us now. Now we are under the sun, try to, cast our vote. The problem now is that they said the vote will end by 2 p.m. this afternoon. So I don't know if they will, start, begin to attend to us once it's 2, or maybe they will just say we should go home. But we all are waiting. Let's see how it all pans out.
Okay, thank you. Because, as long as you're all in the queue,
yes,
you will get to vote. The voting doesn't end to the last person. It won't end till the last person votes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name, please?
My name is Felicia.
Okay,
I'm
Felicia.
calling from Ijebu Ikoto.
Right.
Yes, I have voted at Ijebu Primary School. But the problem is this. The LP logo is too faint that an elderly person or visually person can find it difficult to vote. Even village people in the village cannot be able to find where LP logo is. While other parties own are visible written. Why?
Sorry, Ma. May I interrupt you? When you say you can't find the LP logo, on what? On the presidential? On the senator?
On a presidential.
Where?
Is presidential paper.
On the presidential? Ijebu Primary School. Right.
Yes.
Is it that it's faint, or is it not there at all?
Pardon? It's very, very faint, my dear.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very, very faint. Somebody that does not see clearly cannot see it and vote. Unlike other people's logo. Or should the INEC, after printing, can they see their papers, whether that thing should not be missing. It should be boldly written for somebody that cannot see very well to see it. I had to ask the official, the police people had to come, not only me. Even in the village people, they will find it difficult to see that logo. It's very, very faint. You people should call for it and see what we are complaining of.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
Otherwise, no problem here, no problem. Everybody was organized, and the thing went smoothly. Okay. No problem.
Okay, but you were able to vote in the end.
Yes, I did, because they had to tell me, even with I'm using glasses, I still cannot find it. They had to show me before I can print it, which is not supposed to be so. I wasn't looking for other people's own, but I saw it. If people should call that paper and see it, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless you too. God bless you too. Hello? Yes. Good afternoon. You need to turn your radio off, please. Yes. Good afternoon.
Why that when they complain, you they interrupt somebody? There is man where he called for a letter and complain about this very thing. When this woman calls, you interrupt her. Why that when somebody calls you, they interrupt that person? Like say, you know, hear what happened.
What happened? Do call back. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Kingsley, calling from Jakondema.
All right, go ahead, Kingsley.
Mommy, I don't know when I saw in the election for Nigeria.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I go to see logo. You go to know your choice. Mama, no logo.
Hello, when you say no logo, what do you mean?
Shebi, we get APC, we get PDP, and we get Labour. Mama, no logo. This one no be. I don't be listening to our campaign. I lose hope. So anybody who is saying that the winner.
Which party? Daddy,
no.
I agree.
Anybody my name is Kingsley. I'm Kingsley. From
Kingsley.
No relation with they do for you.
Kingsley now. Shebi we will have conversation, and my pidgin is bad.
If I want
Daddy.
to talk, my card will finish.
Well, okay.
Now me willing to call you.
And but if you don't let them hear you, they can't understand you. How would they be able to represent you? My pidgin is rubbish.
I say waiting me. I very too much.
I couldn't really I
walked from here to my polling station that took me for over 45 minutes. I've voted and I'm back to my house. What they are saying concerning logo is not that too clear. It's not that too clear. That's the LP logo. It's not that too clear. But since I'm not, this is not my first time, so I took my time to check the logo very well before I print. The LP logo is not that too clear.
Okay, so it's very faint.
Control.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Olubila speaking.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm calling from Oshodi.
Okay, sir.
Church Street, to be precise.
Yeah.
Early this morning, I went out with my father-in-law to polling unit 023 on Church Street, number 15. And funny enough, I found his name, the name of his wife. So my name and subsequent names were missing, were not on the list. But I insisted that I must vote there because this is my only unit. And at the end of the day, one of the polling officers took my card, placed into the beavers. He said, no, I couldn't register. And I said, but I checked severally before coming here 2 weeks ago, last week. Even this morning, it still indicates that this is my unit. They now said, oh, they have split it. I said, split? Then you should have notified the voters that, okay, this exact polling unit has been split into two. Why putting us through this stress? Okay, where is the second place for us to go and vote? Story entered. We had to I went to the local government, I complained, came back and all that. So we're back now. They finally sorted us out. But the problem now is they are refusing our brothers from other tribes to vote.
Sorry, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm not an official of INEC. I can only plead with them, but it's like they don't want to reason out things. So I'm asking security agents to come around on Church Street to be of help so that everybody could vote, so that people will not be disenfranchised. If I have not placed additional effort, definitely all those other voters will not be able to have voted this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm going back to the polling unit because I have to leave there. I don't want to make this call in their presence. I have to leave. So that, please, we need security agents on Church Street. That polling unit 023 is the second one. Another unit in Oshodi generally. I want to believe it's a general thing in Oshodi. We need security agents to be on standby and be of help to us.
Okay.
That's just all I want to say.
May I ask a question?
Okay, ma.
Before everybody says I'm interrupting, because we all have to remember that there are people listening. They need to understand. When you say they are not letting other tribes, people of other ethnic groups vote, what do you mean?
They're telling them to leave the place, and some of them are already leaving.
How do you know they are of other ethnic groups?
From my name, I definitely know I'm a Yoruba person, but I don't look such, but I speak.
People think I'm from Akwa Ibom because I'm so yellow.
But I'm telling you this on ground information. I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm not disproving what you're saying. I'm saying to you, how do you know those people are of other ethnic groups?
They're saying it to their faces. They're all coming to me to ask for my help because initially, in the morning when the thing was not, our names were not on the list, I said today I must vote. No matter what, I must vote. So I had to take up the challenge, start going around, meeting the people and all that. At the end of the day, we were sorted out. So being sorted out, we need to.
My brother,
back to the unit.
I get, and I love what you've done. You've done incredible work today, and that's the kind of thing we need to hear. But I actually need to know how you know these people are of other ethnic groups, even if they come to talk
because
to
I
you.
know them. Some of them are my friends.
Right, some of them are your friends, and they've told them that they cannot vote. Yeah, hold on.
We're all there. We're all there together. We're all at the polling unit trying to vote, and they're singling them out, picking them out. Leave this place. Leave this place. Leave this place. Leave this place. And nobody wants to get injured. They have to leave.
Okay. Do we have an INEC line? Would you like to report this? Because
yes, I would.
We have a number for you that you can report it to. Where's the INEC hotline? Is that it there? Right, 09.
I'll call the number. I have all the numbers. I'll call the number, but I just want to put it on air.
Okay.
More so I called you guys.
Okay, so thank you.
I'm going to call the number.
Thank you, Kingsley.
I'll have the soldier, the security men numbers as well, but I just want to put it out there in the open air so that people will know before I start calling those other agents.
Okay, so if I may just say something as an example. I've been working with Zainab for quite a while now. I can't even tell you where she comes from. I'm just saying. And I love her to bits. You all know I'm obsessed with her. But I can't even tell you where she comes from. So just saying, because we have to be careful when we say these things. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, thank you.
I do.
All right, my brother, thank you, well done. Let me read our messages. We have so many, and then I'm coming to you, Sulaimon. What have we got here? Oh, thank you. You're too sweet, Madam Ireti. You can just call me Sisi because you spell my name in the most sexiest way, and I don't want others to be getting jealous. Madam Ireti, live the studio. You are doing the right thing. Thank you. My name is Barrister James. INEC officials have not arrived. Polling Unit 2 in Ibrahim Adesanya Estate, Ajah, Lekki, Lagos. That's as at 10:46 a.m. Voters were waiting INEC officials to come. Please help reach out to INEC. Thank you so much. I've just read that out. Did I tell you that? You see, my friend in the studio, yes, I have another friend that's now part of the Danfo. You see how Danfo is getting fuller and fuller. He's also an election observer. So all these things you're saying, he's writing it down. No? So don't shame the family, please. Anyway, my name is Victor. I'm waiting to cast my vote. My polling unit is 065 in UP Primary School, Ajaguro, Ikorodu. Oh, it was so the people from my hometown. The intimidation here is much. They accompany some voters to the cubicle. Wow. Once anyone from Southwest comes, they'll withdraw them from the queue to go and vote. The rest of the people were asked to go home, but police arrived eventually. But the intimidation continued after they left. And you do not tell me where. Is it Ebutemeta? I think it's Ebutemeta. Yeah, going by what you've posted before. Right, this woman, Sandra was, oh no, hold on. She said, okay, the woman calling is so correct. I too had it difficult to see. Labour Party, it is faint, and the name LP is not on the ballot. Just the faint logo. Oh, other parties are bold with abbreviations as well. I too had to call the officials' attention to show me Labour on the ballot. This is not good enough, David. I agree, it's certainly not good enough. That's not what we pay INEC for, is it? Good morning. Please help us to call INEC to send the officials, the officials to polling units 15 and 16 at Sangotedo Primary School, Ajah. No sign of INEC officials at all. No accreditation started and time is running out. The two polling unit has more than 1,000 voters. My name is Samson Kamoru. We're still waiting for INEC officials in my polling unit 16, Sangotedo Primary School, Sangotedo, Ajah. Wow. And it's now 1 o'clock. Gosh. I'm going to pick all those ones to read out so Sulaimon can make a note. Someone asking voters to go home if they are not voting for APC. You have to tell me the area. I cannot click on these things. What have we got here? Right, Sisoke, good afternoon. I'm Oye Konshino Abioye from Elegushi, Bariga, Ipaja, Lagos. Voting is so peaceful in my area, Bariga. My polling unit was split into 3 different centers, with each center manned by INEC officials and the police officers. Those centers are number 1, Bariga, yada yada yada. Those are very good, right? Number 1, Bariga bus stop. Number 2, Bariga compound. And number 3, Feremi Street. Voting began on time as early as 8:30 a.m. and the process is pretty fast. Turnout is all 3 polling station units around the house is impressive. Voters are very supportive to both police officers and INEC officials. Police vehicles are also moving around, moving together around with a large number of police officers and their arresting vehicles. Although some vehicles, right, okay, we'll be calling the report in a bit, okay. Although some vehicles and none of our road is being used for football game, unlike the previous elections. I was able to cast my vote already in a very peaceful atmosphere. Thank you for that very, very, very detailed report. Last one I'm going to read out. Good afternoon, Sisoke. I'm at Ikate. Hoodlums came did you hear that, Sulaimon? Hoodlums came not long ago to scatter the polling unit and beat up people. I have a video but can't share it to protect the person behind it. What do you mean, Raphael? Share it. Cover the person's face. Come on. You people are the social media generation. So now that you're supposed to be doing proper social media, you can't share it. You can't send me a message like that and say you can't share it. Share it. Cover whose face needs to be covered. We don't care. We just want to see proof. Right? Are we calling the reporter now? Okay, we're about to go live to Kayode Banjo in Ibadan, correct? Right, okay. Kayode? Hello? Are you there, Kayode? Can we hear you? Can you hear me? I'm trying to put on my sexy voice. Don't run away, Kayode. Are you there? No, you're not there. Should we go back to Kayode once we're able to get him? Okay, we will go back to Kayode. Sulaiman, how are you feeling about everything you've heard so far?
Wow.
The vague, the sublime, and the ridiculous.
So I'm just going to appeal to citizens that we should not allow ourselves to get frustrated. We should not allow ourselves to also get carried away. I'm happy for the citizens' vigilance. But like I've said to many people, it's equally not appropriate if we do not have complete information.
Yeah.
Because we then have a tense situation, but we don't know why.
Exactly.
We don't know exactly where things are happening. Some of the allegations that have been made, these are very, very grave allegations, if they are true. But it is not enough to send them to media houses to announce it live on air without grounding it properly. So, for instance, the gentleman at somewhere in Oshodi who saw people of certain leaning being told to leave.
Yes.
This is something that somebody should be able to capture because, I mean, this is the kind of hardcore evidence we've always wanted. So if somebody, I know you have to stay safe. I know you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But this, something happening at the scale you have mentioned to us should be captured. And if you're able to capture that, that helps everybody. And I'm happy that he has said he's going to call INEC and the security agencies himself. Perhaps if the security agencies come on ground undetectable, perhaps they themselves will be able to garner some of these things. The one that really bothers me much is the one where many people are reporting that they are yet to see
the Labour Party.
INEC arriving, at their polling stations at this time at 1 p.m. And we've gotten quite a bit of this, and that's quite worrisome. Whatever the logistics challenge is or are, by now they should be over. This is a process that ought to have started very, very early. So INEC needs to at least make perhaps some midday broadcast to say that they are aware of some situations and they are working on it. You can't leave polling electoral officers to their whims and caprices. Matter of fact, some of them will be endangered if nothing is done, to address the situation. And for those who have said that they think that some particular, there's the ridiculous, the one who said there's no logo of anything. So, that's ridiculous, really.
Well, he is ridiculous because he called me mommy. Mommy, what do I look like your mother?
You call him daddy.
Well, I have to. If you're going to call me mommy, you're going to be called daddy.
That's 2 gay 4.
Exactly, 2 must get 4. Cheeky.
So those who have complained about a party logo being feigned, this is a grievous
it's egregious, well. Yes.
So I want to plead with Nigerian food. Perhaps some of your correspondents on ground can take close shots of some of this ballot, because this is the hardcore evidence that we need. It's not about, really, this election is not about who wins or who doesn't. It's about how can we from this election improve our electoral system, fortify it against all the shenanigans that we've always had.
Yeah.
But we're not going to achieve much if we don't have hardcore evidence. I'm pleading with people to stay safe, but try. I have gotten a number of things on my phone this morning. Maybe yes, perhaps because I'm wearing observer tag, and in some places perhaps because these are areas that cannot be harassed.
Yeah. Are we going to the broadcast?
I think INEC is doing.
We're going to the live broadcast. INEC is doing a live broadcast. Hold on, people.
That was being paid again. Another day, another funeral, another grieving family.
We can't get it. Okay. All right. Sulaimon, sorry, continue. We're going to try and get to the INEC.
Yeah, so it's important that people try their best to ground the information they are going to give out.
Honestly.
Because there's no point heating up the polity without having evidence for it. But I assure people that the best you can do for your candidate, for the party of your choice, if you see any infraction, is if you can either get law enforcement agents or INEC to stop that infraction, or if they are part of it, to get hardcore evidence. Your candidate, your party will need this evidence.
Yes.
To challenge the integrity of the process. So I'm saying that, knowing that people still need to stay safe, but nonetheless, we need evidence. We're going to need some hardcore evidence.
We do, and that's critically important. And you have to remember that you don't need to be close to be able to do a video.
Yes.
Right. You don't need to be close. You can do it from afar. Just record it. Are we going to the live broadcast? Okay. But please don't just call to tell us some vague information. Look, you don't want to inflame an already delicate situation. Please. Are we going to the INEC media briefing? Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, people. We're about to go to the INEC media briefing. I know you all want to hear it.
So the advice of the security agencies, we tarried a while. But I'm happy to say that we were able to deploy to Allah, and voting in that location is ongoing as we speak. Similarly, in Oshimbi, local government area of Delta State, thugs attacked a polling unit and 2 beavers machines were lost in the process. But again, determined that election must continue, we were able to replace the stolen beavers machines, reinforce security, and voting continued in that location. Similarly, in Sapana local government area of Osun State, thugs attacked one of our voting locations and snatched 6 beavers machines. But again, we were able to recover and use the spare beavers machines and reinforce security for voting to continue in that location. Happily, the security agencies have recovered 3 of the beavers machines, but 3 are still held by the thugs. So in these locations, the target of attack was actually the beavers machines. No longer ballot papers or ballot boxes is the beavers machines. But in the 2 instances, we were able to recover and continue with the process. But there are also other complaints we had from some political parties about the shortage of polling agents' tags, the identity tags. Nigerians may recall that for the first time we designed a portal and encouraged all political parties as required by law to nominate their polling agents. They never interacted with INEC face to face. And we have vested over 1.5 million nominations from political parties for agents at polling units level alone, and over 68,000 for collation at ward level, local government level, and the state, and 27 collation agents for the national collation as nominated by the 10 political parties. And we printed those cards and delivered them in the main to the states, where they were collected by the chairmen of political parties. But not all the parties nominated agents for all the polling units. So we did what we were supposed to do. And if there are issues, then definitely these issues will not be from the Commission. But we also realized, and that is why we created a portal, that parties would like to issue agents their own tags bearing only the logos of the party and the word agent written across. In this case, anybody can claim to be the agent of any political party at any level, resulting in some instances commotion during collation, where 2 or more agents will claim to represent a political party. And that's why we created the portal where they uploaded the names of the agents and the description of what they are going to serve as agents, as well as their photographs. And these cards were laminated and delivered to the states. One of the parties drew my attention to a letter. They said in one of the states, they were given a letter by INEC in the absence of the accreditation card. But our officials at the polling unit level did not recognize those agents because they were not bearing the INEC accredited cards. I requested the gentleman to share a copy of that letter with me. He shared a copy of that letter, and it was clearly issued by his party, not by INEC. And when I drew his attention to it, he immediately deleted the message. So this is a clarification on the issue of agents. And I was still like that by political parties that as we go into the concluding phase of this election, particularly when we go into collation of results, the Commission will insist that only INEC accredited collation agents will be admitted into the collation centers. Finally, there was an issue raised by some of the political parties, particularly at the polling unit level this morning. They said that in some instances, the logos of the political parties were on the ballot papers, but the acronyms of the political parties were not on the result sheets. I need to provide
This were at 3 before we
yeah. Is any That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I don't even know if he mentioned, if he talked about that. Did he talk about?
I'm sure that didn't reach INEC.
Yeah, but did he talk about the sorry, my love. Yeah. Did he talk about the reports of violence that we've had, albeit sporadic, but
so yes, he did.
Yeah, we're back. Okay. All right, we're going back to the INEC briefing live in Abuja.
Received from people who do not locate their polling units will be louder than that. We tried to solve a 25-year-old problem in the history of Nigeria.
Mandate 23.
The Mandate 23. Live.
Okay. Did you hear that? What did you make of it? I'm hearing unconfirmed, and I repeat, unconfirmed reports that there has been fights in Elegushi, that the army is there, that it's possible that a celebrity was attacked. I don't know how far it's true. It hasn't been unconfirmed. Unconfirmed. One of the people that's said to be attacked is somebody that I do know, who we've had as a guest on this show before. I've sent a message to him for him to ask if he can be on air and tell us exactly what he experienced and what went on. But until then, I'm going to come back to you, Sulaimon. Is this beginning to kind of look ugly? I mean, a whole Elegushi around the corner, as they say. Elegushi there, as they say in Ghana. Elegushi there. What's that all about? What is that all about?
Well, I sincerely hope in my mind that that the situation don't get out of hand, that it's just a skirmish that has been resolved, because it's still early in the day to have this kind of situation. So, like you said, it would be nice to have the person reportedly involved, perhaps being victimized, to get across and give their side of the story. I have seen enough presence of both police and military as I came from mainland to the island, that I don't expect that any place should get rowdy for more than 10 minutes before they're able to deploy there. Of course, most of the polling units, all of the polling units that I've been to, I didn't see anyone where the security personnel there was carrying any firearm. But not far away,
but whatever you can record, just record it. That's what we're asking you to do. There's video evidence of a DT's attack, I believe. It's at Oba Elegushi Unit 050. I need him. I need a DT online if I can get him to call, or if we're gonna call him, we'll call him with my phone. Can you tell Sandra to tell him I'll do that, please? I think I read, and hopefully he'll be able to talk, because I do understand his phone was taken, but I don't know if he has another call. But it's been really, really ugly, and this thing about Elegushi takes me back to when there were the local elections. Do you remember that? Hold on. Oh, he can't talk. Okay, so I have a video. I'm going to try and tell you what I got. The elections. I had vote of ugly. This please. Right, here we go here. What have we got here? Igbo's not been allowed to vote. Lasso only Yorubas kindly escalate. I'm looking at this video. There's just shouts going on. Right, what have we got here? You can't talk. Military, yeah, there's military in Elegushi. Yes, I was informed of that. And voting has commenced now. Yeah? Okay. Is it possible for me to play this video? You've sent the video to me. Okay, all right. Bear with me a second, people. You have to this is what live reporting is like. Situations are changing. Everything is dynamic. We have to stop and start because I've just done something to this WhatsApp and I hope it doesn't get upset. Okay, I know what I've done. Right. Oops. WhatsApp. I'm trying to get my WhatsApp back. WhatsApp. Come back. We haven't upset you. Come back, WhatsApp. Come back. I don't know what I've done. Oh, it's back. Okay, where have you sent it? Right. What have you sent it? Where have you sent it? Here? Oh, it's not live. It doesn't open. But let me just try and open it from your phone if it'll open. If you're caught recording, it says there, if you're caught recording, you get beaten up. I'm going to try and look on Twitter from Simon Otigba's line. This is crazy. He hasn't gotten his phone. I'm getting messages. Okay, he hasn't gotten his phone. Tell your guest there's a live video. Okay, I've got it. Right. if you're caught recording, you're beaten, basically. So I'm going to go on Simon Otigba's Twitter handle now, which I believe there's a video of it. What's going on at Elegushi, and it's insane. I don't know whether you can see that. Oops. It's mad. I think the army just arrived. This is a Kate where the unit was scattered and people beaten an hour ago. Yes, that's the same place. I've got another wow. This is not good. This is not good at all. So here's the thing. When the INEC live broadcast was going on, I couldn't make out a lot of what he said. Perhaps you heard it better. I didn't hear him saying much about any reports of violence. I'm curious to know what they've got to say about that. But this Elegushi does seem to have a history of issues. The video I can see on Twitter is actually inside the palace, I believe, Elegushi Palace. So, Sulaimon, over to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the video I'm seeing there is shocking that you have the police there. I mean, I see more number of police on ground than the couple of miscreants wielding machete or perhaps stick. I don't know what it is they are wielding.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why the police are not moving in more swifter to stop the guys who are, disrupting everything. So it's a bit strange. I hope we can have more information about what's happening. But I wonder why the police are there. Of course, we see that they are not carrying firearms.
Yeah.
But it does not, I mean, their uniform alone and their number should be enough to arrest that situation. I mean, I see about 8 police officers, and the guys who, from the small part of the video we have seen, small part of the scene, the number of guys who are doing the disruption cannot be up to 4. So I'm expecting, and those guys are not carrying firearm. So I'm expecting that the mere presence of police and the mere moving in of police should be able to arrest a situation. I mean, our police are not entirely.
Well, apparently voting has started. Apparently voting has started, but I think this was obviously before it started or resumed, whatever.
Okay, again, the timeline of this video would actually reveal a lot. It depends on when this video was taken. So if calm has returned to that place, I will pray that they'll keep an eagle eye on that area to ensure that the calm stays.
Well, yes, absolutely. But I think it's getting to a point where INEC actually, when it comes to Elegushi is a hotspot. But because, like I said, we had, what's it called? The local elections 2 years ago. And we had similar reports. And there's not a lot. Really, I mean, and I think too much responsibility is placed on the candidates to do. Do you understand? Too much responsibility.
PU in the palace.
Precisely.
Why should that be? I mean, we know that our
I think this time they chased him
neutral.
into the palace. But in the election, apparently, last minute, they moved PU into the palace. I remember that clearly.
So the place you just saw now, is that inside the palace?
That's the palace compound.
I mean, I don't know what the palace looks like. So if that is the palace, there's no reason why the PU should be inside the palace.
Yeah.
This is part of our feedback to INEC that you got to remove PU from places where people who are no longer neutral, as they traditionally ought to be. You have to remove the PUs from their places. You know, so when you put a PU inside another's palace, it takes control. It's like personal ownership. It's like his own personal voting ATM.
It's insane. It's insane. Look, people, we are still covering mandates. That whole Elegushi thing just kind of threw me off a little bit because, you know, there are lots of people there who I believe have been affected, who I know, who I care about, and I'm as angry as all of you, but never mind. The show must go on. We're still talking Mandate 23. What's going on in your area, right? So, Sulaimon, hold on, I've got lots of messages. Let me read this. You guys are sending me so many videos. Gosh. Earlier from, no, that's an old one. They have started snatching. The video. Gosh, I can't. You have to send me messages now. I can't be watching all your videos because really I have to translate what's going on. I don't want to translate the wrong thing. All PVCs are valid from 2015 to date for these elections. PVCs do not expire. Yes, of course they don't.
They don't.
Absolutely. Nobody said they did.
Nobody said.
I just said they don't. They said they can't find my PVC. It's two different things.
And we said that
yes.
temporaries don't count anymore.
Yes, I'm just not happy with them because they can't find my PVC. I repeat, I am not happy with INEC. INEC, I am not happy with you. Right, so if anybody thinks I'm taking it lightly, it's because I have to do my job, because it is not my job to get angry on air, okay? We have to keep things together. Right, any more reports? Apprehended with guns at Ajah this morning. Oh, that's a video. I can't show it to you, Sulaimon. Oh gosh, okay, so it's a video of a guy in yellow boxer shorts literally being whipped with rubber, and I think he was apprehended. He must have been doing something to do with there's quite a few of them on the floor, on the ground rather.
So you are doing a real human task here, because when you want to keep people informed as things are happening, at the same time, you have to wait through this barrage of information and videos, and knowing us for who we are, some of this video may even be coming from some archives.
Yes, exactly.
So it's
exactly.
Really
it's the Lord's work. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I know He's going to forgive me if I make it to heaven. Just for surviving Nigerian elections, He will forgive me. I know my sins will be forgiven. Absolutely. Thank you for that word. That message of courage from you. Let's address this issue. What issue? The messages you guys are sending me, it's all a little bit fragmented. I need real messages. Right, here we go. Is this an election? This is Aguda Surulere. If they won't allow us exercise our free rights, oh gosh, let's not do that. You know what that came there. Can we DIVID this country? No. I'm not going to talk about that, because when you say they, who are they?
Yeah.
Right? Who are they if they're not going to let us? Who are they? We're all taking part in this. Yes, there are some people who are being prevented from exercising their rights. Some might be Yoruba. Some might be there was a girl I heard this morning who was beaten up in Mushin. I think it was on the show before mine. They called in. I was on the way here, and she was beaten up apparently in Mushin, because apparently they believe she voted the wrong person. How in God's name they know who you vote for? I don't know. I just think sometimes I'm thinking, how do these people know these things? Yeah. How do they know? Who tells them? I mean, if I'm going to vote, I'm going to vote. Voting is going smoothly here, but we discovered there is no, there is no result sheet. The INEC officials came without result sheet.
Well, that can be
That's
rectified.
Chief F. Oseji.
That's good information. That can be rectified.
Okay. Okay. Right, what have I got here? Good afternoon, Cecile Gay. If this is the way elections are being won in Nigeria, then it's a pity. Some groups of hoodlums with guns opens fire at our voting center at Akinyele Taxi Park at Aguda Surulere and went away with the ballot boxes. The policemen posted to the center were not with guns. I don't understand. I've never seen a Nigerian policeman without a gun.
Oh, they're not with guns. They're polling units.
Okay. We have him online. Okay. I'll be right back to finish your message. We have one of our reporters, Sheun Ogunride from Osun State online. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sheun. Is that you?
Yes.
Good afternoon. This is Cecil. How are you? Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you for being out there. Tell us what's going on, please.
Yes, here in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, I have visited places. The place I visited, they came in good time. The electoral officers, they composed themselves well. They came as early as 7:30 a.m. with the electoral materials. And after then went to a day. The hometown of the state governor, St. Bimodal Adeleke. So I was there. He casted his vote alongside his wife and other people, party faithfuls. There he advised the electorate to remain calm and to be peaceful. He advised residents of the state to be calm and peaceful in their conduct. Then also, based on the report so far, the conduct of the exercise has been peaceful in Osogbo, Ede, Ikin. Presently, we are on our way to Ila. I'm on motion, but I had to pack.
Okay.
To receive this call. Security agents were at strategic places to maintain law and order. Also, the voters' queue separate the female queue, the male queue in separate files. Then the aged will be attended to fast, and there is provision for persons with special needs.
Right, Sean. May I ask a question?
Okay.
Did you say the men queued separately to women?
Yes.
Did they say why? Is that normal?
It's in Osogbo, a particular unit.
Yeah, is there a particular reason? Do we know why, or is just what you find?
There's no reason. Maybe, just for most of the places visited, is separate queue.
For women, male and female?
Yes, so that maybe to give the women respect. So that there won't be sort of cases of rough handling or...
I've got Sulaimon here, and he's an election observer, and he's quite bemused by it as well. Because I'm bemused. It's curious, but anyway, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So maybe when I observe the other areas, if I see something different, I can still I call back to.
Yes, please. Yes, please. But so far, everything has been peaceful.
Everything has been peaceful, and we also interviewed someone in Ikiru. He's a PDP member, barrister at Adetunji Tajudeen. He said the Beavers machine functioned well, same thing as what the governor said, and they commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for the Beavers. He said it was a good one and it has come to stay. And I interviewed them that means the outcome of the results will be accepted. He said, based on the fact that all these politicians are saying the Beavers work through and all that, and they accepted that they will accept the outcome. But meanwhile, they also advise politicians to accept the outcome in the spirit of sportsmanship.
Interesting.
Sustain the nation's democracy.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So you're moving ahead to other areas in Osun, are you?
Yes. Okay. On my way to Ila, but I had to pack.
Okay. Thank you.
But, on the way, some places have been some election. Some people have some units have completed the election, although they were still expecting more people. If they will still come out.
What was the turnout like, though? Just curiously, what was the turnout like? Was it mega? Was it loads?
The turnout was very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. The first word I visited this morning, even the electorate has been outside before the INEC officials came. And based on all the places we said so far, people came out en masse to cast their votes.
Excellent.
And there was no form of intimidation from any security personnel.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sean. Well, it's 2:00, so we've got 30 minutes left. Let me let you move around so you can let us know what's going on later.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, my sister. Go safe. Right. Yeah. Let me, Sulaiman. Male, female on separate sides.
Yes, the further you move into the country, you see quite a bit of that.
How interesting, really.
Yes, it's not strange, and
it's not strange.
What I saw in Surulere today is actually in some part of Syria, I saw a place where the elderly were given a separate line.
Yeah.
And younger people were. So they say, okay, when 10 younger persons vote, then they go to the elderly and take maybe like double that
I think
number.
that's nice. My friend went through that.
So something like that is what you see where I mean groveling.
So
and
I
all
want
that.
some grey hairs today. Want my grey. I would have just been
easily.
See, that's what you didn't do, Zainab. You should have one grey hair.
Or at least do some walking.
Because that my cheeky friend, he said he got senior person's, privilege. I said, which part of you is senior? Which part of you?
So I think it's respect, really.
Yeah. Okay. I've got updates here. Updates: pockets of violence in parts of Lagos. Elegushi, Aguda, Ebute Meta. Reports of election materials being destroyed and shots fired, chasing voters away. Wow. I don't like this. I really don't like. Yeah, this is the guy that similar to this one that I had from Aguda, from Val in Aguda, who said, what is the point? These people are taking ballot boxes away. The policemen posted to the center. We're not with guns. Please, what will happen to these votes? I don't know, but the one thing I can probably guess is that more than likely that PU will be cancelled. No?
Sure.
Sulaiman?
Sure. So any polling unit where such happens, INEC will cancel such election. For some, if it's investigated and it's realized that they can vote the following day, but if it's this kind of violence, they will end up disenfranchising. And so these are some of the jokers in the hands of politicians. Mm-hmm. You can go and disrupt your opposition stronghold to nullify the votes that will come from there. But then again, while I keep insisting that personal safety is the first rule, but it's also still important that people try their best to get evidence of some of these things. Because they will go a long way in adjudicating on matters after the election. And that's also part of the process.
Right, I've got an update. Elegushi sorted. I just rounded up there now. Voting has resumed with military armored trucks securing the area. Mm-hmm. This is what I was going to say earlier. So we saw videos of all these military tanks moving, and at one point I thought to myself, are we in Israel? Are we Palestine? Is this Nigeria-stan? But no, it was, parts of Elegushi, parts of Lagos and everything. And all of a sudden we're hearing of these things, and these people were not even present. We're going to our reporter, Emmanuel Josiah in Ajah. Emmanuel.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my love. How are you?
I'm fine.
Talk to me again on where you are.
Come again?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Right, what's going on in Ajah?
Right now I'm in Bakare in Ajah, this polling unit 008.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, okay, yes, right now I'm currently at polling unit 008, Etio Salika government area in Lagos, Ajah axis up in Bakare community, where accreditation and voting started early, exactly about 8:30 a.m. this morning, after the electoral officers have given a brief on the voting process to the party agents. As we speak right now, other polling units here have actually been done. Some of them are done. Polling units like polling unit 031, 036, 033, and 035 here in the ward Bakare Primary School. Currently, we are having some very long queue here with polling unit 007 and polling unit 008 right now. So it's really, really very long. And the complaint is about most of the voters are complaining that the electoral officers are very, very few, so they are not attending to what is happening right now. And it's taking them a lot of time. But we have the military men who have just actually come in here to help us with the arrangement, having a single file now filed down to the very extreme end of the gate inside the school compound. So far, so good. That has been it.
Right. Well, it sounds much better. Do you have any reports of things that have been going on in Elegushi at all?
I can hear you. Please come again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Right, you're in Badore, correct?
Yeah, Badore.
Right. What I'm saying is, do you have reports of what has been going on in Elegushi?
Do I have?
Do you have any reports of the issues that has been going on in Elegushi?
No. Yet to confirm that, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Sulaiman, over to you.
Yeah, so again, I would like to advise citizens to calm down. Because at the end of the day, none of us expected that we are going to have this election without some of these reports we are getting, some of these skirmishes. We know that criminals will be criminals. The extent to which we can reduce their influence on the outcome of the election is what we are all concerned about. Because sometimes now you have to juggle between people giving real information, people giving information in panic, and people giving outright false information. And it's a very thin line to navigate all of that, especially if you have to, if you are online and, reporting on the spot. So citizens need to be vigilant, because really, it's not only those who perpetuate violence that will mar this election. It's also the rest of us if we give in to panic or if we give in to intimidation. Because all it takes for evil to reign is for good to keep its arm akimbo or to take flight. So I want to appeal to sometimes, and it's true that the police are not with their guns. And this is part of what we have asked for, that should be so, that police shouldn't be. But I insist that no policeman can claim to be helpless, because help should be about 5 minutes away. The police patrol, I've seen several police patrol teams.
It's not just police, I've seen...
and the military are there as well. Even though...
Like I said, those trucks, I really did think we were in some kind of stand country.
Yes, I took some picture of a long line of trucks. I saw them at the round stadium yesterday night, and this morning I've seen them at stadium, though few. We also are concerned that our elections should not be militarized by the state. So it's important that we find a balance. We don't want the military to have too much role, and we hope that increasingly the role of the military will start to diminish in our electoral process. Election no be war now.
Like I said, it should. I voted since Tony Blair, and I know it wasn't in this country, but it was so uneventful. Yeah. I just had a shower, put my clothes on, got in the car, head out to work, stopped at the polling unit thingy, got there. It was literally my local council. Yeah. Got there, voted. I didn't even get a cup of tea. And when a white man doesn't give you a cup of tea, they're just like, go, be gone with you. Well, do what you came to do and be gone.
I've seen a couple of places today where you can actually get puff-puff.
I would have gone there. I would have voted there. I would have voted there. What you talking about, Willis? I would have voted there. That's my kind of voting. Sheriff hasn't even given me water.
No, he's a mean guy.
Water. Today,
today
I have not even received water. Some people are getting puff. What have you had?
Sister, we have water.
Nobody.
I can go get you some.
No, I want more than water. The water was it was a symbol for something else. Not water gone. Because you will now offer me pure water. Because I don't trust the allergy. Gosh, he doesn't like to spend a penny. But literally, as you said, and we've got to have a laugh. We've got to laugh. Yeah. It's horrible what's going on out there, but we do know that overall, this is not going to shape these elections, is it? Or is it going to define it?
I'm praying that it doesn't get to define it. And for that prayer to come to pass, we all as citizens have a lot to do. First, as much as we can, we'll try not to heat up the polity. Then more importantly, we need to get evidence of, this madness will continue for as long as they are just talk in the air. But if we have evidence, and some of us can then follow up to see that people, in this country, some people went in front of national TV, stole the maize of the National Assembly and went away because there's no consequence.
Yeah.
So we want to get to a stage where there will be consequences for the things that people do. My own aspiration for voting in Nigeria, like I've said earlier, is a situation where our voting becomes the affair of your local government. Is a situation where parties don't need to be national in outlook. If all my interest is to see to the welfare of Surulere or to represent Surulere very well at the National Assembly, that should be my party. I don't need to have it. We have over-monetized the process such that it's only the money bags. And some people have formed their political parties so that at the end of the day they can sell, they can declare for this, declare for that.
Exactly.
It's business. So, but if I am genuinely interested in my local constituent, I should be able to have my political or independent in the candidacy.
That's right.
Such that I can represent my. I just need my constituent to say, "Oh, we like him. Let him be on the ballot," and that should be it. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Until we have that, this kind of electoral system that we have, it's always going to go to the highest bidder. Even beyond vote buying, leave vote buying aside, this process is money intensive. I've been to places today where, oh my God, people have set up eating camps. And some of those eating camps, you will find even your security agent taking food from there. Because there's nowhere else. Even if they have money, where are they going to buy from?
Yeah, that's right. It's, I was watching one of the election observers, international election observers yesterday, the former president of Malawi, Joyce Banda. So it's what you said about vote buying. I literally almost fell off my sofa. She said, so the host of the TV station said to her, so, they were talking about all sorts of things that could go on with the elections. And she said to her, so tell us how do you handle vote buying in your country?
She said, know what it
vote
is.
Buying?
What does that mean?
Vote buying? No. Who we buy, who we sell? She said, my country's the size of Lagos. I've only ever heard of it in Nigeria.
And interestingly, it's also what you define as vote buying.
She actually said the police wouldn't dare.
In the last American election, because we were just coming out of COVID, people were actually we saw clips of people being given food packs with a particular with the Republican candidate. I mean, perhaps maybe the Democrat did it, I don't know. But we saw Mr. Trump's food pack. In our climb, that will amount to vote buying. You can, because votes, you can buy votes ahead of the election day. You can buy during the election, or you can use promissory notes. Especially now that Mr. President has removed all the naira.
Yeah.
So a lot of promissory notes vote buying. I hope people will not be fighting after the election. Where is we are not sure you voted for us. I voted for you now.
May I say something? And honestly, when I was coming from Lagos Island this morning, that's where I went to do my analysis this morning. When I was coming from there, I noticed that there was hardly anything going on. So I got there very early because I had to be there at 8. And at the time I thought, okay, perhaps it's because it's early. I left there at 11:30 and still hardly any voting going on. But because, Lagos Island is a maze and then some, so the security guard offered to take me out of the area to get to where I would get to. Whilst he was in the car with me, so I said to him, why is there nobody voting? Why are there no queues? Why are people just milling and hanging around? I mean, literally, like I said, this is 11:30. He said there's no money. I said, I don't understand. He wasn't being cheeky. He said there's no money. And I said, well, I don't understand what money for them to travel, money. He said, Madam, there's no money now, so people are not really analysis. Exactly. And that's where we are, that further analysis. Because like you rightly said, vote buying in a funny kind of, in less crude manner, exists in other parts of the world as well, right? Okay.
Ours is too brazen.
Yeah.
And our system is too dependent on that. See, I've been to many places today and I saw people of different political parties, people with their candidate calmly sitting down on under canopies, on chairs. And I look and laugh and I wonder, do you even know how those canopies and chairs got there?
Yeah.
I saw party agent collecting water from a particular party's agent, because those ones had set up their drum with water, and I'm like, well, is this camaraderie or is it to soften the ground? So our system is flawed in a way that until we change the total outlook of our electoral system, it's going to be money dependent. The person who can provide the most comfort, this morning some people were going to houses, some were carrying bells, ringing bells, and all of this is logistics.
It's logistics still. Let's answer some calls. I see people are calling. Sorry, I didn't mean to forget you, but so much has been going on.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Just want to pass an information.
Yes.
Here in Bariga.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I don't know the reason why all the polling units and this Bariga, this particular Bariga, what is it called? Muritala. So all the streets, the one at Ige Avenue, Olontoyin, so on and so forth. No single police in the in past election. Two police in the polling unit. I don't know, but this time around we couldn't find any single police. And again, all these I don't know what I can even call them. There are some people who came with cane. On the
who came with a cane?
Yeah, with a cane. So they were scaring people. They were scared people away that they should not vote for one.
Were they in uniform?
Candidate.
Were they in uniform? Were they in uniform?
They are not in uniform.
Oh.
They just come around and scare people away that all the Igbos should not vote anybody. That you have any Igbo who is not voting for one candidate must not vote for anybody. So there's even though there's one of my younger brother here that I even tell that one to go and vote. He said if there's no security, he cannot go and cast any votes. And it has not been like this before. At least in the polling unit, two police have to be there. At worst, one should be there.
Yeah.
No even single military man. What for? People cannot go out and cast their votes. For what?
For what, indeed? I'm so sorry.
All the Barigas.
Wow.
No single police. And it has not been like that before.
And so they still haven't come now?
No single. Since morning, since they set up everything. No single police. If any other person can call in, they will confirm that.
Thank you.
It's not a good thing.
Wow.
People were scared to go and cast their votes.
Wow.
How should it be like that?
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. It shouldn't be like that. It was never meant to be like that, and we can't let it continue to be like that. Thank you. Okay. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Handsome Emmanuel. So, look, let me just admit to you people, let me confess to you people, there are like 2 or 3 Emmanuels in this building, in this our company. Okay? They're all fine. They're all young, they're all handsome, and they want to confuse Sisi Oge. So yesterday, I'm speaking to this Emmanuel. I said to him, I'm going to send him something. I've sent it to the WhatsApp. He's like, my Yavo said to me, Egbami, which Emmanuel do I flirt with on WhatsApp now? I don't even know which Emmanuel is which anymore. But right now in front of me, I've got handsome Emmanuel who I saw last night. None of your business what happened last night. Don't be asking. Emmanuel, talk to me.
Yeah.
How are you?
Fine. Last night was great. Thank you so much.
I like Emmanuel. I like you when we're getting jealous. Thank you. I like you. I take bribery, corruption, and marriage proposals. Go ahead.
Yeah. So far so good. Elections going fine. Brief of incident at Elegushi, that started very early at about 10 a.m. this morning. But so far, I'm just coming from there now, and it's been sorted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been sorted because there's military personnel there. They left an armored truck, and that's like a whole confidence booster for the voters there. So I drove in with the military.
Right? Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
That's trendy. No, stop. Now you're just literally making us jealous. You drove in with the military. country.
Yeah.
You mean your car was behind them?
Yeah.
You felt like you were the next president.
The cheering, like woo! So they've complained, since that the some talks came from the palace, allegedly came from the palace, and disrupted the election. Damaged some of the materials.
So was the ballot station or the PU station, was it in the palace or outside?
It's outside the palace. Right. So it's by the fence of the palace, or opposite the fence of the palace, and they're like scattered around, about 5 of them or 4. About 46 polling unit, 46, 45, 43. Those were some of them that were affected. And what they said was that the talks came around and manhandled them. So first of all, they said, "Oh, why are you taking pictures of us?" And they were like, "Oh, sorry, everybody caution yourself." Because one of the things that I've seen with this election is that people try to organize themselves. They're not waiting for the polling officers to come around and start shouting. Yeah. So I've been to Lekki Phase 1, I've been to Amarwa, I've been to Ikoyi. Everybody's organizing themselves. Okay, so they're not having people come do the organization for them. So before the INEC guys even get there, everybody has written their name and taken a number. So that number is what they use for the election. So they said they've already organized themselves. But these talks just came in, and the next thing they said was, you know what, this election will not hold. If you know you are from, according to them, if you know you are from Igbo, oh yeah, please go home. The election is not holding anymore. And then they started destroying some of the things and getting very aggressive. They slapped a guy showed me his neck. The hand that slapped him, well, that must have been like
that must
3
have
people's
been,
hands.
What's that show on that film that used to be Scissor Hands?
like
wow.
Like the guy is light skinned, so you can literally see the finger on his neck. It was so bad. He said he was slapped. Another girl told me that her phone was stolen. So they were literally helpless. And the problem into the estate is like it's like a closed estate behind the palace. It's like there's a gate there. Usually it's open, but I don't know what happened, and it was locked and padlocked for that matter.
So nobody could escape.
So nobody could escape. Nobody could get in. Nobody could drive in. They had to drive their car.
You couldn't get out. You couldn't get in.
They had to trek in. But the challenge was that once the INEC personnel got in with their vehicles, they shut the gates. So it was difficult to access the place. When I got there at first, they told us that we have to come down and trek down. We have to come down and trek, into the polling stations. I was not comfortable with it, because one thing about me is that I understand how conflict-sensitive reporting works. Of course. And I always tell my drivers to be alert. Or don't turn your engine off. That's what I always tell them. So I told the driver to just park well and let me see what. So I observed, and it wasn't very safe because of the reports that people were giving. So I drove out, and the next minute, thankfully to God, all the calls we've made, they arrived at that very same time. So I just spoke to them. They were like, good. The next thing, they were like, open these gates. If you don't open it, we're breaking it down.
Wow.
Open it or we're breaking it down.
We're going on break. Oh, don't go away, Mano, because I'm liking this gist. We'll be right back.
Me down 'cause I'm on the go.
Adro Home Strong Love promo. Enjoy 40% discount on 24 months payment plan or 30% discount.
People that are discouraged are still here. They are discouraged, but they are waiting. The thing is taking so long.
Or 0803-466-7286. This promo day from now till 6th of March 2023.
The time is right now. People are not even checking the time, but the truth is that everyone everyone wants to vote. People are not leaving. In fact, people are coming. In fact, here, they used to have like at most 100 people. Now we are like 600 and something. You understand? And people are not leaving. People want to vote. People want to, do something. So I'm really happy about the turnout. I'm happy about the way things are going. I'm happy about the peace. I'm happy about the peace. Well, in this area, it's peaceful. We've not heard anything about anywhere that there's any, and that's the thing. If we can just be doing it like this peacefully, whoever you're supporting, you are supporting the person. Because the truth of the matter is that if you stand for nothing, one day you must fall for something. So people should stand for whoever they want to stand for, but let the best man win, and let us do peaceful, because somebody must still win.
Okay. So lastly, you said something about this being your first time coming out to vote. Can you really speak of that and what actually influenced your decision?
Okay. This is my first.
We had a chopper come around the area and start surveying the area.
A chopper?
Yeah,
a helicopter?
Yeah.
Must have felt like James Bond.
Yes, it was like a James Bond rushing. So the next thing, they had to call someone from inside to come open the gate. Immediately the gate was open. Oh, the driving was James Bond like. Really. James Bond like. So
literally they just
like, yes. So they came in with an ambulance. So
they even came with an ambulance.
They came with a military ambulance. So it's like anything that happens to you,
put you here.
We'll put you here. Take it.
Oh, is that what it means?
I don't know, but
I don't have the nearest.
Guess who wasn't in Nigeria during the military era? I had no idea what that means.
So,
I see.
We literally drove in like
but
5
if you
trucks.
Mess with us,
like if you mess with us,
we got your coffin ready.
So we drove all in at the same time. People began cheering. People were on their way out of the estate before we arrived.
Were you able to video people cheering?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Brilliant.
Yes, I do.
Brilliant.
I do have the footage.
Wow.
Of people cheering while we moved in. They were so happy hearing us. They were shouting, screaming. They said they've listened to They listened to Nigeria Info. They've listened to Wazobia FM, and they've heard us call out emergency numbers, and they've been calling those numbers non-stop so people can come to their aid, and they didn't want to leave. Regardless of the intimidation, that's one thing I really love about these people. The group set of people. I've covered the elections in other places before, but this year it's different.
Nobody's having it.
So no matter what you're doing, like the girl and the guy that was slapped and they were intimidated, usually they'll just go home.
But they stayed.
And they said they're casting their votes.
Wow.
And I have a footage of these same people when the military arrived, these same people screaming, we must vote.
Excellent.
We must vote.
Excellent.
They collected the contact of the polling officer. He ran away when the boys stormed and was like doing the whole thing that they did. He actually ran away with another girl, but he had left the beavers, but he could have operated. I think that was polling unit 43 at Ikate there. Only him could operate it. So they had to call him, like, bro, come back now.
Oh, God.
Multiple persons were calling his line. He had to rush back when the military arrived. And they told him, all right, everybody, back to your numbers, back to your queue. You still have your number? Everybody say yes. Oh, yeah, arrange yourself. Everybody moved. Someone went to her home, went to get some plastic rubbers, because the plastic rubbers that they usually put the House of Reps tags where you can put your what they call it.
The ballot box.
Yes, the ballot box was broken. She went home and got something similar to come back and vote, so that the voting would just continue. So it's the drive for me. I just feel I still have people waiting at Darwin College right now. They've been calling my line. We've been trying to sort that out since morning.
So they haven't voted in Darwin College? They haven't
voted in Darwin College. We still have people sitting outside on plastic chairs. Somebody had to bring plastic chairs. I don't know where the person got it from. And they have people there. They have their cars parked. They've not voted since morning. I met them at about past 8 a.m.
Darwin College near Admiralty?
Yes, near Admiralty. And
why?
Just a little away from there, where you have polling unit 16 or 16 a year. Marua polling unit 16. We have where Banky W actually his polling unit is there. It's the whole truth from there, and they have those guys are like voting.
But you just have people at Donwen and they're just sitting outside there. But the thing is that since 8 a.m. till now, these persons haven't had lunch. They've not had lunch.
So are we
but
saying...
they're still waiting now. They're still calling me.
It's 2:23.
I don't know what's going to happen. But these people are adamant and they're calling and they said they've been able to track down where their polling officers are with the materials and that they are at Ikota right now. And they want to do everything they can do.
I literally can't speak.
Yeah, so I'm very sure they are not just the only ones who are in this situation right now.
They won't.
You know, they are not the only ones. But aside that, everywhere else I've been to, at Ikoyi, I went to where the governor voted, at Lagos Island, and it was peaceful. Around the area was peaceful, but of course, you know, it's a governor, so you can't even mess up around the area in the first place because security is very tight, you know. But aside that,
did you notice that the ones, because like I said, I was in that sort of Campbell Street area, come Freedom Park, there was hardly any voting going on. I mean, there were the INEC was there, everything was set up.
Lagos Island.
Yeah, but there was hardly anybody at that end. I hardly saw, like, literally there were no queues, there were no...
Okay, so this thing happened.
Yeah.
There was some kind of mix-up. I think INEC have to step up too, you know, in the sense that just away from... Okay, let me use an example of Banky W's polling unit. Okay, now his polling unit has how many? Has at the last time I counted was 113 persons ready to vote. Now, just by the side of the gates, because that place at the end of that street, by the side of that place, you have a polling unit there with just 43 persons. To vote. So why couldn't INEC have moved 300 from the over 1,000?
Yes.
From the over 1,000 from this polling unit and moved it to the other polling unit.
Yes.
You know, to just make things easier and faster.
But that's what they said they were doing.
But that was not what was on ground there.
Did you see that on the polling unit 43?
Yes, I spoke to the presiding officer. Wow. There, and he said 43. And as at the time I was there, he had about 34 persons. So they were literally waiting for people to come vote. But just prepared to cast their vote. But at the time, I think Banky W was about 42. His number was 42 on the list. He came quite early, so his number was 42 on the list, and he joined the queue. He didn't.
Give me a second. We've got to go to Ibadan, right?
Okay.
Who have we got in Ibadan? We've got Kayode Banjo in Ibadan, who's going to give us a live report. Kayode, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, tell us, what's going on in Ibadan?
Okay. At some polling units now, voting has ended. But early this morning, when I went round, I observed that most of the electoral officers got to their assigned polling units behind schedule. They got there late. So I visited the pickup point where the ad hoc staffs were waiting for vehicles to convey them to their polling unit. And they were stranded. They were about 10 o'clock in the morning. Some were still waiting for the vehicles to convey them to their polling units, whereas the voters were already at the polling units waiting for the arrival of the electoral officers and materials. And I also observed at Ibadan Southwest Local Government, Ward 39, polling unit 12, Ibadan Southwest Local Government, they have about 1,242 voters. And as at noon, they were still on number 22.
No! Did you say 1,200?
Yes, over 1,000.
Over 1,000. And as of noon, they were still on 22.
Noon, yeah, they were still on number 22. So I spoke with one of the electorates, and he complained about the late arrival of election materials and the electoral officers. And he also complained about the beavers. He said the beavers was functioning slow, was slow, and he said it would have been. He advised the INEC to provide more beavers at the polling unit. That one beavers is not enough for a polling unit. That had been there were 2, 3 of the beavers available, and accreditation was going on simultaneously. Probably it would have hastened the process. So at noon, they were still on number 20-something. They were going to about over 1,000 plus. Then I also observed that, the INEC promised that there were going to be provision for people with disabilities. But at most of the polling units that I visited within Ibadan, there were no provision for people with disability. There were no provisions at all. I didn't even cite any physically challenged persons at the polling units, and there were no provisions at those polling units.
Wow. That's. But I remember seeing Jake. What's his name? Ekben. Yeah. Yes, we actually spoke about Braille and the special magnifying glass, etc. So I'm wondering why that didn't make it to Ibadan.
We didn't see at all in Ibadan. I covered Ibadan North local government, Ibadan Northwest, Ibadan Northeast, Ibadan Southeast, Ibadan Southwest, Oli local government, Onora local government. There were no provisions at all for people with disabilities at the polling units around those local government areas. Wow.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
On a lighter note, some parts of Ibadan, the youth actually turned the roads to football pitches. They were seen playing football on the roads.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're doing that in my area actually as well. But I don't vex them for that. I don't vex them. They're young people. I mean, I almost got out of my car to play with them, but I just had to respect myself. As they say, respect yourself.
Yes, I equally spoke with a politician. It's actually the Oyo State Director General of APC Presidential Campaign Council. And he said of the cash crunch that the country has been experiencing for a while now actually affected the turnout of voters at some polling units. So he made a call to the government to ensure that there's cash availability prior to the governorship and House of Assembly elections, so that people will be motivated to troop out in their numbers to exercise their franchise.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Yes, we have, thank you. Be well, go safe. We have Honora, who's a senior editor and correspondent in, where's Honora? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Did I pronounce your name well? Don't be kind, just tell me off.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Honora.
Honora. Honora, yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where are you? Where are you reporting from?
As I am, I'm at Amuwo-Odofi, but I've gone to Amuwo-Odofi, I've gone to Ajah,
okay.
I've gone to Ikoto,
okay.
and just Igondu,
okay.
Yanoba, and
okay.
But as I am at Apple Junction as I report now.
Okay.
In Festac Town.
Okay. What have you seen?
I will just tell you that, first of all, I'm impressed with the turnout.
Okay, excellent.
A lot of people came out, and I saw the willingness to vote. In some areas where the INEC officers did not come on time, people were still waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Koto area, they said they will wait until they come. And then on my way out, I saw them coming in around 12.
Yeah.
I saw some INEC officers coming in around 12, and they are patiently waiting. There are some little hiccups here and there. One is the issue of the beavers. In one of these centers, P043, they brought in the beavers there, but they couldn't walk. They brought the beavers of another polling unit.
Yeah.
So they went back to pick another one. They got back again.
They brought the beavers of another polling unit.
Yes. So he couldn't walk. He couldn't authenticate any of their decisions. So they took it back to the office, brought another one. The same. It happened 3 times. But I must tell you that before I left there, they brought another one, which is queuing up to actually do the accreditation.
Right.
But people are patiently waiting. in most of the area, the only thing that I observe is that in Ojo, in front of the barrack, Ojo barrack, there are still communities which task at their name is, but their name could not be authenticated in the papers. So they were told they're not going to vote. But they said our names are in the register and you saw it there. Why can't we vote? So these are the little complaints that I bet generally. I must tell you that the turnout seems to be very, very impressive. It's very, very impressive, and if Nigerians have been behaving this way, I believe that we would have gotten, and functioning of the electoral process seems to be seamless.
Yeah.
I have to say this because they do accreditation, they vote. I stood there and watched up to 10 or 20 people vote in a polling unit, which is something, because of the timing, I think it's something that seems to be an improvement from what we used to know about voting in Nigeria. So I'm not going to actually assess them fully, but what I saw, I think, it's a development from what we've been seeing in our voting pattern.
Thank you. We need positive news like that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Honora. I've still got Emmanuel here with me, but Emmanuel, before I go, let me just read something that I received. It's voting in Agungileki going on, no disturbance, but just go slow. Got here at 9:30, got number 194, yet they are just at 90 5 hours later. Well, you'd have had to get me a hotel room and build the hotel right there. Like, you don't take me there, you build the hotel right there. 5 hours. I don't want just one dinner. I want dinner and bride price.
At the place at Marowa, we had people say something. They said, even if we're at 6 p.m., we get to number 800 and we still have 300 more people to go. We turn this place to a carnival. They'll bring the lights. While people are voting, we'll be dancing. But INEC will finish their duty there.
You will do it.
You will do it.
By force, by fire.
Votes. And our votes must count.
Absolutely.
People are ready to go all out for this election. People, for the very first time in a long time. So I spoke to persons earlier, and I found that most of the persons out here are first-time voters. They've never come out to vote before, and that's supports the fact that a lot of persons get a bit what's the word now?
What, excited?
No, not excited.
Oh, when they get anxiety.
No, confused about the polling units.
I see.
They've not done this before.
Yeah.
So they're
not familiar with the process.
Exactly. Yeah. So they don't know the exact place. So you see somebody and you ask the person, "Hi, please, what polling unit is this?" And the person looks at you.
I don't know.
What? Out of the cards aligning with what INEC says. They just want to vote. They don't really care about the procedures. They just want to exercise their franchise, and they want to go all out for this. And it's really, really encouraging to see. And I really, really hope stand strong with INEC.
I've got to ask you. I know you've got to go now. And I haven't got much longer to go. But let me ask you something. As a young person, and I know how passionate you feel about our electoral process, I know how passionate you feel about the elections, about the politics, and I know you are planning to have a conversation. You're planning to do a town hall, right?
Yes.
For young people. For young people with all the candidates that didn't end up happening, because those people are cheeky. They never know what's good for them. Tell me, do you think this election in itself has represented young people very well?
Yes.
Right. Has it captured what you as a young person would like to say it capture?
When you mean capture?
As in, I know we're using technology. Is it technology in the way you would expect, or is there more technology you want? Has the electoral act been changed, the new electoral act, has it been changed to the way it would work for your generation?
No. So
is there more you would want?
So there is more to be done.
Right.
Okay, so there's a better way to collate this.
Right.
Okay, there's a better way to make sure. Technology has opened a lot of pathways for us. You see, even just the normal thing we say in the tech world, blockchain technology.
Yes.
It can help us do a lot in this election. But the challenge with it is that there are processes.
there are processes in these things that you don't really.
People, so we just got to Beavers. Can you please, Sulaimon, come in here? We got to Beavers. He now wants to talk blockchain.
To blockchain.
Blockchain, long.
And we are still crawling.
I can just about spell digital.
So that's the challenge, because we see the millennials. They're not very open to accepting some of this technology. But this technology can actually make these processes very easy.
Did you say millennials?
Yes.
Well, you see, some of us were before. Sulaiman, oh my God, I love you, Emmanuel. He just called me a millennial. I'm claiming it. Did you all hear that on this station? If you dare call this station and call me mommy again or auntie, hey, there will be Jagboro. Emmanuel, say it again. The millennials.
Millennials. Y'all keep calling her mommy. For me, she's millennial.
I'm a baby girl. Yes, go ahead.
So when they're open to accepting this thing, now I don't expect them to just jump at it, okay? Because somehow they feel it's unproven technology. They feel like, they see a lot of loopholes which they can exploit. And honestly, okay, you don't want to bring something in that you're not very conversant with. You want to be able to control as far as it can go, what it can do, everything about it. That's one of the things. And because they feel like you don't have that total control over the technology, they feel like, you know what, we're not having it. Before we could be able to make most of the companies go into the ICT sector, even use social media, as little as social media was. It was a challenge because some persons were not receptive of it. Okay, so it's the same process.
When Buhari got in, we made such a big deal about social media. Oh my God, social media helped him. Oh my God, everything is streaming on social media. It was such a big deal. It was like it was going to solve all of our lives. Then we realized actually no. Then they tell you he's only a president on social media. That one is. No, hold on. They want me to read out breaking news. Hold on 1 second. Right. Eyewitness report, Mafaluku PU 72, Old Ewu Road. 3 men came, shot, chased everyone away, brought out only the presidential election ballots, poured petrol on it, and then burnt it.
On the mainland?
Old Ewu Road. Mafaluku is where? Oshodi
area.
PU 72. Wow. And you said we need blockchain. We're gonna need more than that. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. So because you see, once it's been done there, the only challenge is this: we don't accept this technology. If not, we'll get rid of this paper whole thing.
Okay. I'm gonna bring you in here when the time is right. You and us millennials, we're going to talk, and we're going to talk about what needs to happen next, because you own the future. We are just how'd you say, we're just what are we? We're borrowing it. Abi Sulaiman, talk to me.
You're guiding us to it.
We're guiding. We're guiding jejely. Yes.
So why we appreciate the guidance, we want to be able to explore on our own. You can never guide a child too much. If not, the child will not be able to walk.
Absolutely.
On his own.
So you guys want to fly?
Yeah.
You want us to let go of your wings?
Of course.
Just so you do what needs to be done.
Because that's the only way we can fly to tomorrow.
We love to see that. Because our fear is that the elections, even in, and I hate to say this, I don't believe in any Senate climb, but some parts are more democratic, so to speak, than others. So you talk about the US, the UK, the election is still
no. So
Nigeria, yes, now.
Yeah. So it can
try telling a white
that.
Pensioner that she can't use that paper.
It can work that way. Okay, there's a way we can infuse it. We can do both.
Okay,
we can marry both. It doesn't have to be totally.
Now they have some room
technology.
For us
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. But I'm going to be having you, like I said, and some of your generation with us millennials. We're going to be talking about what's going on.
Always ready.
All right. Okay, my love. Thank you. Right, I've got to read this out. Voting in the Ikorodu area, that is my local, well, it's not my local government, it's just, my hometown, of Lagos. Ikorodu in the Eweso area of Lagos State has been peaceful so far with very good turnout of voters. I know some of my families, some of whom I like, some of whom I don't like, were part of that. Don't tell them I'm on the radio because I won't pick up their calls. Accreditation with BVAS machine and the voting process has been good so far. So round up from Ibeshe to Ebute to grammar school, Ajah has been a violence-free exercise. I am very proud of my Eweso people. When they call us Ikorodu Oga, it's not for nothing. When they say we're the Omo Elukus, Omo Efelejabi, and it's Robireri, they know what they were talking about. Thank you so much for that. Sulaiman, we're almost done.
Yeah.
I have so many messages, calls trying to come in. Let's answer that one call. I'll read messages and I want Sulaiman to wrap up. Hello.
Hello, I'm Chijoke is my name.
Chijoke, good afternoon.
How are you today? God bless you.
God bless you too, sir.
I'm calling from Etiosa local government.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Soguntodo primary school, voting have not started at all. Even accreditation have not started in Etiosa. Soguntodo precisely. Voting, accreditation have not started there at all.
Where in Etiosa?
Soguntodo school, Soguntodo primary school.
What's the PU number?
The PU number I cannot know because PU number I'm there and I don't get the PU number for you, but I just want to be sure for you. Just precisely, Soguntodo primary school.
Wow.
In Etiosa, voting accreditation have not even started at all. No materials at all there.
Can they still do accreditation at this time, Emmanuel?
No, not at all. Nothing has started at all. Soguntodo, Etiosa local government.
They can, yes.
It's 2:44.
Yes. So if it's not going to be possible today, then INEC can say come tomorrow.
Yes, very correct.
We can vote tomorrow. But that will be our next call.
So we're going to wait.
But really, if the INEC people are able to get there and the people are willing for the process to happen.
There
were 2,000.
2,000 voters waiting to come.
Oh, wow.
No, not at all. No material at all. Etiosa.
Only units 15 and 16.
Okay, we've got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sulaiman, so what did you say? INEC can actually decide.
It's either of two things.
Hold on. What have I got?
Babatunde Pra.
Okay, hello. Babatunde.
Hello?
Yes. Who is it? Babatunde?
Yes, editor.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead.
So, I'm just getting into Alimosho local government now.
Yes.
And you know, Alimosho is the largest local government in terms of
correct
population.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just moving in now, but I've been at Ikeja local government.
Yeah.
And generally, what I've noticed so far is just the major complaints have been the late arrival of electoral materials and officials. You know, at most polling units there in Ikeja. In fact, there's a particular polling unit, you know, that just left at Bamishile Street of Allen. That polling unit, they started voting around 1:30 this afternoon. And I asked the electoral officers there, you know, what happened, and they complained about their previous machine having issues. They said they had network issues with it, so they could not do anything, no accreditation. They can't do anything until they were actually waiting for one of their technicians to come in to fix the machine, and they asked people to just exercise patience with them. But while I was there, the guy came in to fix it, and you know the issue was sorted around 1:30. But I asked them if they will allow the voters to go on, because voting is supposed to end at 2:30. You know, but
queuing is supposed to end at 2:30.
Sorry,
queuing. So the queue closes at 2:30.
Yes,
the vote continues.
The vote continues. So the lady, I deliberately asked the lady, because there were complaints from people there. You know, they were scared. They don't know if they will still be allowed to vote and all. So I had to ask her, you know, while others were there, you know, and she confirmed that voting won't close. They will still allow people to vote, but they will stop giving out numbers from 2:30. But they will still allow people to cast their votes. The last person.
That's the law.
The last person on the queue. So that's. But generally at Ikeja, it's just been the issue of the Beavers machine having errors or network issues, and also the late arrival of the electoral officers. I'm just getting into Alimosho now, moving around. But one thing I've noticed, at Ikeja, I did not see any military men on the road, or roadblocks. But here in Alimosho, it is totally different. I can't count how many that have actually stopped us, to ask questions. Even with the fact that they've seen that we are press, they still ask us questions, check the booths. I've seen cars that they've asked to turn back, if they don't have any issue to move around. So it's a little bit different here in terms.
So Alimosho is heavily militarized right now.
Every I can confirm that this is not something that I saw at the Keja, but it's different here. Probably could be because of that. But generally, I'm still moving around. I've not seen or heard any issue around here. Even with the fact that we have loads of people coming out. Another thing again is, unlike the previous elections I've covered, I've not seen or heard anything about voter apathy. We have a whole lot of people coming out to exercise, to vote. Actually, a whole lot of them. I mean, unlike before that, we'll be talking about voter apathy. That has not been the conversation at all. And from what I've seen, I mean, nothing like that. People are actually out, the old, the young, to do their thing, and that's really a good one.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Go safe. Right. Can I read messages? Yeah. Can I read messages? Right. Okay. Let me read out some messages. In Mafoluku Oshodi here, polling booth 035, Branko Owolabi Street. Hoodlums came to set presidential ballot paper of already casted votes on fire. You've got that. Yeah. Let me see. I have so many messages. Iba in Lagos. Just received this somewhere in Iba in Lagos. Well, you can't be sending in what you believe. You can only send me what you have seen. Happening now, PU 039. INEC officials have been on ground here since 9 a.m., but they refuse to do anything. The Ballot of the area, Sele in Oyo LGA of Lagos State, came to see the officials, had a talk with them. Since then, the INEC officials kept giving excuses why voting couldn't start. Soldiers just arrived at the scene a few minutes ago, and voting just started at about 2:35. This is Michael from Obagoriola Street, Sele Oyo LGA. That's not good at all. We've got so many reports from Aguda. So many. I've had so many videos and stuff from Aguda. Good afternoon. Some were giving 10K for people to vote their party. Who is some? Don't send me messages like that if you can't say who the some is. And hopefully you will have evidence. Please, we have to be careful at Iwereku Secondary School in Lakwe or Lakwe. Elijah from Ajah. Good afternoon, gents. I think, yeah. Elijah from Ajah. Good afternoon, gents. Well, I'm not a man, but maybe I do sound like a man. I don't know. If you have 20 billion in your house, please, what? Oh, okay, here we go. I found a message. I was informed in Aguda that they need military intervention. Please help share these numbers. I think they've already. And don't we already have military in Aguda? We need to check with our newsroom. Do we already have military? Is there reports that there are already military in Aguda? If there aren't, we need to send somebody there to confirm everything. I have so many reports here. INEC refused to deploy its redeploy its. Hold on, what is this? It's in red. I'm gonna try and read it. Right, okay. INEC MC Oluomo stopped the Igbos, right? Igbos in this PU from voting. Please compile all your video evidence. INEC refused to redeploy its compromised rec. Right, Agbaje, MC Oluomo made sure those materials didn't get to their destinations. Right, okay. Allegedly. What have we got here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. What else have we got here? Voting yet to begin on Lifer Street, right? Isolo, but there's no polling station. I don't think there's a polling station. No election, no beavers here. So 250 on Lifer Street in Isolo, voting yet to begin. Right. Situation report. 24th, right. Ogbo Ajah Lagos election has been disrupted as this polling unit. INEC staff has left and no results. No results to reflect. My votes have been wasted. We don't have the name of that PU. Sulaimon, over to you.
Let's come down. Let's use the numbers that INEC have provided.
Wait 1 second. We have a live report from Ikorodu Ikechukwu. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ikechukwu. Can I say I was so?
So it's in order to say I was so.
Yes.
So, but I don't actually know how to respond to that.
Just say I was so too. That's all.
I was so.
Yes. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I've been in and around say 70% of Ikorodu. So I don't want to really say the whole of Ikorodu. I've not been to Agric. I'm planning to go there soon. And so far so good. It's been peaceful, but the exercise started quite a little bit late in so many parts of this part of town. To the extent that even the senator representing Lagos East, Tokumbo Abiru, he voted around to 12. To 12. So that's and he was the first person to vote at his polling unit. That's polling unit 011 Ijomu Ikorodu. And then there's this basic complaint about certain polling units. Precisely one I heard of that I can confirm. Honorable Suna Agumbiade of the Lagos State House of Assembly, I spoke with him and he confirmed that there was shortage of materials for the presidential ballots in polling unit 055 and 043 Grammar School along that Tamaga Ijede Road.
Yeah,
that's where the polling unit is. So, but they like that was also where the Commissioner for Transport, Freddy Kolade, they voted, and he said, according to him, he believes INEC will rectify. There is always this plan to, rectify and bring materials to where they are not enough. So we expect INEC to do that basically. But I can't confirm if they've done it now. But as at when they were voting, the reason why they noticed the shortage was based on the number of registered voters. So they were short of about 100 in one place and about 400 in the other polling unit. But so far so good. Those who have been on the queue to vote have not been short of material.
Thank
you. At the time I was there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Apparently I'm being told that we have to get off air. Thank you so much, Kechuku. Stay well, be well. Sulaiman, let me let you close quickly. We got to go. We've got what, a minute?
Let's wish our country the best. Let's stay focused. Let's calm down.
Let's calm down.
Let's keep eagle eye on the process. Let's calm down. Let's keep eagle eye on the process. Let's explore all reporting channels. Get as much information, as much evidence, because the election doesn't stop today. Some of these places you are talking about may even get to court. So, but here says will not work in court of law. INEC needs some of these evidences. The security authorities need the evidence, and perhaps the court might admit some of these things as exhibits. So we need all the information. But more importantly, we are still going there. It's a long journey. This election is not going to magically transform us to where we want to go. But we must make sure that this is an improvement on, and we all had a lot of confidence coming into this. There will be teething problems, but we'll get over this. So let's calm down. On the overall, we are going to see how much. Yes, some people, unfortunately, and very unfortunately, will be disenfranchised. Either because the beavers didn't work or some of these security challenges that we have seen. But on the bigger picture, how much will this affect the entire process, and can it move us closer to where we desire to be? This is not going to be the final election. There'll be many more elections. So please, let's calm down.
Yes, I'm going to have you back, because one of the things that I wanted we didn't get to discuss was what and we know the third force was a big deal, or the third option was a big deal, but really, how has it affected today's activity? Do you understand? Because they say be careful of what you wish for. We kept wishing for a third option. Now that it's here, ho ho.
I'm sure after the election we'll be.
We'll talk that. We'll have that conversation. Yes. All right. I think we're done. Zainab, what do you want to tell Nigerians?
We're done.
What do you want to tell them?
I want to vote. And I'm still hoping I'm able to vote, because I was the first person to step out of my house this morning on my street.
Did you take a tally when you did?
Well, the officials told me, they told me that I'll be the first person to...
Because she even helped them put the thing on the wall.
If she actually had the tally, you could go back there with the tally.
They've told me no problem at the time before I left the house, but I don't know how...
No, when you go back, if they're there, they should still let you vote.
So I really want to...
Otherwise, collect your glue that you gave to them.
Otherwise...
Tell them to give you your glue back. But let me say something, right? Much as INEC couldn't find my card, Yakubu, you and I have words.
Serious
words. So much as they couldn't find my card, I must say it is quite likely that my sister was the first to vote in Nigeria today. She voted by 8:31.
Wow. That is great.
So we need to find out, Yakubu, if you cannot do anything, find that one out for me, Mr. INEC chairman. Yeah, I think she said she got there at 8:31. She was voted by 8:33. Literally seconds. She was done.
Wow.
She was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's hope.
There is hope. She had no problems at all. But we want to know if we won a prize, if there's a prize. Maybe it's a house in Asokoro. Please don't tell me. I'll report. I'll do the reporting. But yes, Nigerians, look.
You know it's good with Beavers. You can tell who.
That's why we're waiting for Beavers to confirm.
In the past, even if she voted at 8:30, some votes had been casted the previous night.
The same Beavers was the reason I couldn't vote this morning. Past 10, it still wasn't working.
So we are really sorry.
But I'm hoping I'm able to vote
when you go back. I'm sure you will.
I doubt though, but then give it a try.
I will definitely.
Nigerians, look, we were all excited about today, and it's happened. I know things haven't gone as well as we wanted to. Yes. These things will happen. Stay blessed, stay positive. Let's look forward to the results, and I'll be back here tomorrow. Bye.
There's an aged woman coming in to vote.